Welcome to the dansports.tips MLB Daily Fantasy preview show for today, Thursday the 8th of September. I will be taking a look at everything you need for your daily fantasy games on DraftKings today. I'll be looking at starting pitchers, stacks of the day, how we can construct a lineup to maximise point scoring potential, foundation players and a value player at each position. For anyone that hasn't had the opportunity to sign up and play daily fantasy sports with DraftKings yet, I will pop a link in the description of this video down below that will enable you to do that today. My starting pitchers today, my top pitcher is Jaime Garcia of the St. Louis Cardinals for 9,400. Okay, he has lost his last three starts coming into this game, but as a pitcher he has always pitched better at Busch than on the road. That's continued into this year with an ERA almost 1.5 runs lower at home than on his travels. He's enjoyed particular success against the Brewers at home this year. In 2 starts, he's gone 17 innings with a single earned run and 19 strikeouts against Milwaukee at Busch. This includes a complete game one hitter with 13 strikeouts in his second start of the season. On a shortened slate, that sort of upside is ideal for us today. AJ Cole of the Washington Nationals for 8,300. This is a product of a shortened slate late in the year. We're sometimes forced to deal with small sample size. That is the case with AJ Cole and his 3 starts today. The earned runs have got progressively better by the start, with a single run against the Mets the last time around. He is close to a strikeout per inning, topping out with 8 strikeouts in 7 innings in defeat to the Orioles on debut, whose strikeout number across the year is very similar to the Philadelphia Phillies. I wouldn't trust such a small sample size on a normal day, but with only 7 games to work with, AJ Cole is in play at pitcher. Trevor Bauer of the Cleveland Indians for 7,900. He's settled into a consistent level of production now. He sits at 3-2 with a 3.89 ERA in his last 7 games, which is in line with his season numbers of 10-6, 3.70. He isn't an elite strikeout pitcher. He's got 139 in 160 in the 3rd innings. His only prior start this year against Houston was in Houston. He pitched 7 shutout innings with 7 strikeouts, and with Houston ranking in the top 3 for strikeouts, certainly we hope those numbers can be repeated at this price today. And Jeff Hoffman from Colorado for 5,300. It's another one with a small sample size, not one as encouraging as Cole, but in terms of matchup, Hoffman is worth a look. He's struggled with the long ball so far this year, allowing 4 home runs in 2 games, but he gets to pitch at Petco today, which should help. And let's be honest, the Padres are not the Cubs and the Nationals. We aren't likely to see a lot of strikeouts, despite San Diego having accumulated the 2nd most outs via strike 3 on the year. Hoffman is a ground ball pitcher. He's only struck out 5 batters through 15 innings, but if there is an expensive stack we want to be taking advantage of, he could be worth a punt, as you don't need him to provide a lot of that points at 5,300 to give you value. The stacks of the day today, pretty good hitting conditions are forecast in Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Washington and St. Louis. Unfortunately, there's also a fair bit of rain in the forecast in Pittsburgh and Cleveland, which makes those situations a little more dicey to get involved with. I'm going to take a stack against Junior Guerra of Milwaukee for 3 reasons. Firstly, the options on a shortened slate aren't really there. Secondly, Guerra is recently off the DL. This is his 2nd start back from the disabled list. And finally, Guerra has been a pleasant surprise this year for Milwaukee. He's gone 7-3 with a 2.85 ERA. However, 2 of those 3 losses are his 2 starts against St. Louis this year. He's not been terrible, allowing 3 and 4 runs respectively on those starts, but there could be something in it. So I'll take first base for Matt Adams for 3,400. He enjoys the platoon and has a home run off of Guerra. He's hitting 250 with 14 home runs, and he's hit 2 home runs in his last 3 games. Matt Carpenter qualifies at 2nd and 3rd. He's 4,400. He has the platoon. He's hitting 277 with 18 home runs on the year. Outfielder Randall Grichuk for 4,600. There's another one with a home run off of Guerra. He's hitting 237 with 22 home runs on the season, 3 in his last 7 games. And Brandon Moss, who qualifies at 1st and in the outfield for 4,000, also has the platoon in the matchup. He is slumping, don't get me wrong. I don't think he's had a hit in something like 7 games, but he's hitting 247 with 25 home runs, and he's going to come out of it at some point, and I'm prepared to take a chance that that's today. The Washington Nationals are another stack to go with. This one's quite obvious. Alec Asher will pitch for Philly today. Now back in the big leagues, having served his 80-game suspension for performance-enhancing drugs. This will be his season debut. He made 7 starts for the Phillies last year. In those 7 starts, he went 0-6 with a 9.31 ERA. I will start with Trey Turner, who qualifies at 2nd and in the outfield for 5,500. He's hitting 346 with 6 homers, 21 steals this year. He's hit 446 with a couple of home runs in his last 15 games. Outfielder Bryce Harper for 5,600. He has the platoon in the matchup, hitting 252, 23 homers, 20 steals on the year. Daniel Murphy at second base is 5,500. He has the home run and the platoon against Asher, 345 with 25 homers on the year. Jason Worth in the outfield for 4,300 is another one that's taken Asher out into the seats. 254, 20 home runs. He's hitting 300 with a homer in his last 7. And Anthony Rendon at third base for 4,200. He's hitting 276, 17 homers, 12 steals this year. He's hit 364 with a homer in his last 7 games as well. And the final stat today, another little rule of mine, is to go against a pitcher in his second start back after a long injury layoff. This applies today to a Yankee stack against Alex Cobb of the Tampa Bay Rays. Cobb is making his second start against them tonight following an 18-month injury layoff. I'll take outfielder Brett Gardner for 3,900. He has the platoon and a home run against Cobb. Hits at the top of the lineup. 257, 7 homers, 13 steals this year. Jacoby Ellsbury will slot in right behind him. 4,700. Also has the platoon and a home run against Cobb. 268, 7 homers, 18 steals on the year. He's hitting 304 with a homer in his last 7 games. Catcher Gary Sanchez for 4,700. In 21 games since being called up to the big leagues, he's hitting 348 with 11 homers and a steal. And shortstop Didi Gregorius for 3,800. He also has the platoon in the matchup and is hitting 280 with 17 home runs this year. My foundation player today at first is Joey Votto of the Cincinnati Reds for 4,900. Gets to face Ivan Nova. He's on the right side of the platoon. Has hit a home run off of Nova. He's hitting 312 with 22 homers this year. His batting average recently has been spiked up to 375. Second baseman Logan Forsythe of the Tampa Bay Rays for 4,700. He's hit 2 home runs and has the platoon advantage against today's start for New York, CC Sabathia. Forsythe is hitting 280 with 18 home runs on the year. 357 with 2 home runs in his last 7 games. Sticking with his teammate at third, Evan Longoria of the Rays for 4,200. He has the platoon and 5 homers in 51 at bats, I think it is, against Sabathia. 280 with 31 homers on the year. Shortstop Francisco Lindor of the Cleveland Indians for 4,800. The switch hitter's hitting 320 with 14 homers and 17 steals on the season. He was slumping. He's come out of that and he's come out of it on fire, hitting 448 in his last 7 games. And outfielder Nelson Cruz of the Seattle Mariners for 4,800. He's got a couple of home runs off of today's start for Texas, Derek Holland. He's on the right side of the platoon. He's hitting 282 with 35 homers on the year. 3 of those have come in the last 7 games. The foundation players are catcher Wilson Ramos of the Washington Nationals for 3,900. He's a 307 hitter, which is good for a catcher, with 20 home runs on the year. First baseman Mitch Moreland of the Texas Rangers for 3,400. Taijuan Walker had an absolute disaster his last time on the hill. He gave up 6 runs in less than an inning and before getting the hook. Moreland has the platoon and a home run against Walker, and he's hitting 249 with 22 homers on the year. Second baseman Brandon Phillips of the Cincinnati Reds. There are a lot of options at second today, actually. He's 2,900 today. He's got a couple of home runs against Ivan Nova. 284 hitter with 9 home runs. Third baseman Chase Headley of the New York Yankees for 3,900. He also enjoys the platoon against Cobb. I've not included him in the stack just because he bats a little bit too far away in the order to really make it a stack. He's hitting 259 with 13 homers on the year. 318 with a homer in his last 7. Shortstop Elvis Andrus of the Texas Rangers for 3,800. 296 hitter, 5 home runs and 21 steals on the season, batting 308 with a homer in his last 7. And Tyler Naquin in the outfield for Cleveland is $4,000, has the platoon against rookie starter Paulinho today, 301 with 14 homers on the year. That's all I've got for you today. Best of luck with your lineups and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching the show. Don't forget to like the video. Hit me up in the comments with the daily fantasy plays you like today and press that subscribe button. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I will be here all MLB season and through the NFL season with daily fantasy sports advice. If you haven't signed up yet or you're interested in starting to play daily fantasy sports, please click the link in the description for this video and that'll take you where you need to go to start playing with DraftKings today. Best of luck with your lineups and have a great day.